Mayor Rod Davies. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Vanessa.
How are you guys?
We're doing great.
You had to do the old hop, skip, and jump. How are you going to get to the radio station with the construction move this morning?
Yeah, you
didn't.
It's your turn, I guess.
It is my turn. Got to remember to use the back door.
Yeah, well, we made it through the front. They've got gravel down to be able to try to get in everybody's business during construction here, and we appreciate everyone's patience, and the shop and store owners and businesses, we appreciate their patience. They're kind of picking up their pace. They got through East Broadway pretty quick. As soon as we get the signage out and some more bricks down, we'll be opening that up. So we're encouraged. Things are moving.
Okay, so East Broadway, we're thinking in this week or next week sometime, that part will be open, which is in front of City Hall and Mod Speckle Bellies and that area. Okay.
The sidewalks are all in, and so that's good.
All right, take us through that if you don't mind starting there. I've got the sheet in front of me. It's also on our website for folks to look up what the plan is from now until the end of July.
Well, we're going to be working on this quadrant, and we'll work from the outside in so that we're able to get this quadrant usable for the car show. The sidewalks and access points will be hopefully done by the car show, and we'll leave an opening that will either have compacted gravel or maybe some blacktop patch in front of the Market Alley, so Market Alley can be accessed and used. And then after the car show, we'll start working on renovating Market Alley.
Okay.
And so we'll start at the east and work our way west.
Okay.
And we'll keep that one opening so we're not running over construction equipment's running over new concrete and that. So
Okay. And yeah, the email that was released from you guys that is sitting in front of you, that also states that you've got some temporary ADA ability for our store owners.
right, and one over here for the Keogh Eye Clinic is they built a ramp over there in Market Alley, and so they'll be able to go up on the platform and gain access there.
Okay.
Through their side door. So
What are you thinking? You've been talking to them. I know they've run into some challenges in multiple quadrants. We're on the final stretch, so that's a good thing. What are they thinking now, time-wise?
well, we've added to the project as we've gone along. We had to add some underground work to large sewer manholes and interceptors that we found needed replacing. Found a void under North Main. We're going to replace the curb around the center circle, which was not in the original plan, and they've just run into some unexpected voids underground. So we do have some extra work they've done. I'm hoping that by late August we'll be through everything.
Okay.
Certainly the heavy work, the concrete and all that will be done. There may be a few things like benches and pedestrian lights and that type of thing still, but the vast majority of the pounding and the concrete laying should be pretty much completed, I would think, by third week or so of August. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we wish them a safe continued success and progress on the Downtown Beautification Project. And for folks that have been wondering, why is it so tight in certain spots? I encourage them to also, if you're in Burlington and you check out the new layout of Jefferson Street, it's the same style except for the rain gardens. They have big planters instead. But the road itself, the way the curb extends, it's tight there too on Jefferson. It's the new design. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, these are IDOT approved designs and designed by our engineering firm, Hutchinson, again, with IDOT approval. And again, it is to slow down traffic through the downtown and make the downtown more pedestrian friendly. In our public meetings, we heard that from a lot of the residents and downtown business owners that it would be nice to make the downtown more pedestrian friendly. And I think once we get the pavement done and the striping on the pavement, a lot of these entrances and exits will start making a lot more sense. Again, it's about traffic flow and moving flow away from the stoplights, and so we're trying to get people in quadrants, and then while others are able to continue around the circle. So, it's I'm hoping that they'll understand a little better once we get all the striping done. And I think, the diagonal parking in the 100 blocks are going to add some parking capacity, which again are things we want to our downtown businesses were asking for.
That's the important thing, is that the downtown businesses really wanted to increase parking, and that is one of the reasons why the city built the off-street parking lot there off of South First Street as well, is to help increase parking for customer service and that type of thing in throughout the downtown.
And I hope that we're able to start the 200 blocks on North and South Main Street next year, but we'll see how that goes. Depends on how soon we get notification from the state that we're able to start spending money. We can't do anything till we get their approval. So we'll hopefully get that design work done over the winter, and maybe we can get a bid next year. We'll see.
Well, it won't be such a bad thing to take a break from a little bit of construction downtown.
No, it won't. I'm sure everybody is kind of tired of it. That's right, because we're going to have the construction going on West Harlem here pretty soon, and then we'll have our water plant under construction on West Harlem as well. So
okay, before we talk about Harlem real quick, how about these the rain gardens, the patches where, of course, we have the beautiful black dirt. At least it looks like we're not growing potatoes anymore. That's a good thing. Who's going to go ahead and start to get the landscaping done there?
Well, Porter Brothers, as part of their construction award, is responsible for that. Whether they've talked about doing it themselves and they've talked about hiring a subcontractor, I don't know that we have not heard their final decision. I know there was when the whole project was designed, we did have a landscape design. Hutchinson used their landscape engineers to come up with the design, and we're going to try to follow that really close. I think some of the trees, we're going to substitute some ornamental bushes for some of the trees. We think that'll be better for a lot of maintenance and birds, and we see that over in Galesburg, a lot of dirty sidewalks and cars. So we're going to see if we can substitute some ornamental bushes, some flowering things there that'll make things also nice downtown.
Well, we've got a lot of rain that's been helping the grass, the plants, the crops grow, and so it just sprung up on us out there in those individual paths for the rain garden. So and plus it's July, so what can you plant this year that's going to take? It just depends on time of year and the type of bush or the type of landscaping tree or ornamental bush.
Yeah, they're going to try to do a lot of natural, native grasses to help survive drought and be tolerant to salt and the things that they will encounter in those spaces. So those all are things that have been considered in the plan.
Okay.
So we'll see how if they tackle that themselves or if they're going to hire a subcontractor. I know there was a lot of discussion about hiring that done so they could keep their focus on the concrete work. So we'll see how that works.
All right. The Harlem project, that was scheduled to start originally to yesterday. Where are we at?
Yeah, and I think they got delayed because of some of the underground piping and underground manholes and things like that they have to do, and they always do underground first. IDOT kind of insists on that, and they had ordered those items as soon as they received their award, and there's been similar delays, I guess, for this underground stuff that we've run onto on this part of the downtown project as well. So hopefully that gets resolved, and in the next 3 or 4 weeks, they're saying that they could do it. We were hoping maybe they could start on sidewalks and that, but IDOT's very insistent on underground first. So we'll hope for that material to come in soon.
Okay, so we need to get our news story changed then. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that update. Last night's city council meeting, looks like you had quite a bit on the list.
Yeah, we sure did. Started out with our building and zoning June report from Director Clark, and there's a number of things going on around town. In May, June, we finished getting the curved windows replaced in the turret on the Vaughn building. Those have been in the works for a number of months, so got those built and replaced, and so they're now in place. Monmouth College is remodeling a classroom for their nurses training classroom. The airport terminal, all the exterior work is done. Some of the interior work is completed, drywall and some things. We're waiting on Ameren to get the electrical hooked up so that we can run the air conditioners, so they can get the flooring and finish the drywall finishing up. They need, temperature and climate control so they can work on those two projects, parts of the project. We had a fire down on South 2nd Street, and we're have a new house being built down in about the 1100 block of South 6th. It's about 60% complete, so it looks like it's coming up and doing very well. So we're glad to see that new home being built there. OSF is converting an old surgery operating room to a CT scan room. So that, again, offering more services here at Holy Family Medical Center, more things we can do. And the renovation's continuing on the old Bankers Life building and the West First Avenue space. They're moving along. They've had their engineering designs done, and they're working on getting all the apartments finished upstairs. And we have a new self-storage facility being built on East Jackson Avenue. That's coming along nicely. And we have a whisker wash, a new 24-hour self-service pet washing facility on North 11th Street being built, and that's looks like it's well underway. So that was our zoning and building report.
Total of year-to-date $267,000 in residential construction, according to Ken Holmes's report, and 3,000 in public service projects currently going on too.
Yeah, our year-to-date business construction's 542,000, and in our business enterprise zone construction and is 525,000. So there's still a lot of things going on. We're very fortunate and appreciate that continued progress here in Monmouth, and had the ribbon cutting out at Beck's, and that facility's going strong. So we're a lot to be thankful for.
Okay.
Okay, then we had the city council did award a bid to Beachy's Windows in the amount of $97,534 to replace all of the windows at City Hall, including one of the exit doors in the conference room that is located behind the council chambers. The city was able to do this as a result of a $100,000 grant that was received from a local charitable foundation. And we did solicit 3 bids. The other 2 were about $125,000, and the other one $130,000. So $97,534 was the low bid, and the council did award that contract, and obviously it's within the grant amounts, so that the city did not budget any additional funds for this work. And in fact, I think we probably wouldn't be doing it except for the grant that we received. So,
Well, thanks to the local charitable foundation for doing that, because those windows look like they're about ready to fall in some spots.
Yeah, they're in really rough shape. We've certainly known for quite some time that we needed to replace them. We just didn't have the funds available to do that. So, you got to...
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of windows.
Yeah, you've got to stretch and make do. There's other projects that were demanding the money and needed the attention first. So, you do those and you get by as long as you can.
Well, the energy and the efficiency that you might be saving will also be helpful to taxpayer dollar because you're probably releasing how much air conditioning and heating in that huge building of City Hall. And what is it? Minimum 30 to 40 windows in that building.
Oh,
Big windows, too.
There's a lot of windows there, and they do not retain the heat or the cool. So yeah, we do expend a lot of energy.
Does that mean the frames will also around the windows?
Yes.
Because those are pretty rotted.
Yes.
I just see it walking by on my way to the chamber office or Buster's or John's and the United Way, and you could just see them from that
Yep.
side.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You also were awarded a $400,000 grant.
Yes, the city had applied for this a few months ago. Actually, applied for $500,000, but we did receive a $400,000 grant, and this is from the Illinois Housing Development Authority. It's under a program that's called the Home Repair and Accessibility Program. These are funds that are only available to qualified income families, classified as low and moderate income households. It does include various home repairs, but primarily focuses on roof replacement and then accessibility if there's any handicap status within the household that to make the home accessible to any handicapped persons. The maximum amount of loan or grant to each homeowner is limited to $50,000. So we're estimating that about 8 to 9 houses that are owned by qualified income families would be eligible for these funds. This is really, I think, is really going to be a significant program if we continue to be successful with these types of applications. Primarily, when we get some of these IDA funds, they're primarily geared at demolition, and our hope is to try to preserve and protect more of these older homes and make them more habitable, particularly for income qualified families. So I think this is a great program, and the council did approve the resolution accepting the grant, and the Western Illinois Regional Council will be administering those grant funds. They will be the ones that will be checking the income tax returns and what have you to make sure that the families are indeed qualified, so that these funds are actually expended appropriately under the grant.
Yeah, they handle the advertising of the grant and also the application process. So, again, it's good to talk about these things here at the radio station, and hopefully we can get the word out that, these funds are available. And as WIRC will be announcing, when the application process is and what the guidelines are. So
Okay.
now that we've just the council's approved it, and so we're just at the beginning to start rolling that out. So we'll get that
Could be huge.
information out.
Hopefully a good opportunity for some public service announcements.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. What else went on in last night's meeting?
Well, council approved an engineering agreement with IMEG. They're the engineering folks from the Quad Cities that handle our road work. And this engineering services agreement is for the West Harlem Avenue roadway reconstruction. That engineering agreement was for $443,693. That's for construction administration, filling out pay requests, doing the testing of the concrete and all the building materials, and make sure the materials going into the project meet all the requirements of the federal and state requirements. They do construction inspection. They oversee the whole project to make sure that the construction company's meeting and following all guidelines and requirements. So that is approved. And then council also in another, under a resolution, since we'll be using state motor fuel tax funds to pay for IMEG's engineering, the council had to approve the use of those motor fuel tax funds for their engineering services. So the council also did agree and did do that. So
Okay.
that kind of covers everything, I
I
guess.
believe it does, yes.
Okay. So thank you for all the information, and folks can find all of this information, the update summary, on our website at 977wmoi.com or at cityofmonmouth.com. Real quick, guys, I promised I would just do a quick ask. I know you don't have anything to do with it, but by chance, have you heard anything from Hy-Vee regarding that Shopco building?
No, the last I knew was that they had a $1.8 million price tag on it, but I've not heard anything, and I haven't talked to Hy-Vee now for months because they had directed me to a commercial real estate broker out of the Chicago area, and they asked me not to call them at their corporate offices anymore. So that's been a while ago. So no, I have no word from Hy-Vee at all.
Okay. I was driving to Macomb the other day for a customer, and I looked over and I'm like, wow, I hope we don't end up like, they got that Days Inn building there. And no offense to Macomb, it's just, you can't do anything if you don't own it. Somebody else owns it. But, that Days Inn that's falling apart, it's been sitting there for decades. Bless their hearts. And I just hope our Shopko building doesn't sit there for decades like that.
Well, we know
Because you're
there's some
entering
inquiry.
town, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there's been inquiries, and we do hear from folks that there's some interest in it, but they just haven't put together a deal yet.
Gotcha.
We tried to be involved and help out early on, and
Sure.
they
You guys,
they-
the chamber, MCAP, everybody's been trying.
yeah, and they moved it to their own realtor, and so I guess they'll figure it out when they're ready to sell.
Any other movement on any other open buildings in our community?
Nothing at this time.
No, I can't think of anything, Vanessa.
Okay. All right. You guys have a wonderful week.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
That is Lew Steinbrecher, City Administrator, as well as Mayor Rod Davies on WRAM.